Y'all, it has been so much going on today, so let me have a quick little rant. It won't be long. My microphone and my earphones was giving me trouble, so the cords and all that is shot. I have to go buy new ones. Then on top of that, my phone just died when I was recording on the other one. I am trying to bring y'all the best review, and I hope it pushes through and everything sounds good, because I've been working really hard to make it a little better. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and revel about Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 13. Sisterhood and Traveling Beefs. I didn't see a lot of sisterhood from some of the people. And then when we were talking about the episode, there was so much confusion because we were trying to figure out, where is this even coming from? So production, I'm gonna need y'all to do a little better. There was a lot going on, but it had us looking like, where is this coming from? Because we need the background information. We need the audio. There's nobody on this cast that is currently doing reviews, so we don't know what is left on the cutting room floor. We see Karen packing for Ashley's birthday trip. Everybody is going, and Ashley, Karen, and Wendy are going to go ahead of time. We also learned that everyone is getting similar rooms, so this is going to help with keeping the peace, something that's very hard to find on other housewives trips, or let's just say Mia's trip that was not that long ago. Side note, production, you did show us all the women that had issues with Wendy, and I just have to point out, why is Robin included in this if they made up, unless there was something else that went on that we missed? We then see Giselle discussing with Robin that she had her biopsy. She lets us know that it was painful.
Can't just remove the fibroids. They've got to also remove my uterus, which is just like a full-blown hysterectomy. The act of doing it is terrifying.
I haven't had to deal with this, but I do understand that this is something that many of us Black women do deal with. It has a higher rate compared to like some of the other women that's within the world, but I can say I do want to do a little more research on that, because I want to know, why are we at a higher risk for that? But I do like that Giselle did touch on that a bit in this episode, and I wish we could get more stuff about her life when she's on the show versus her always just getting the stuff going or whatever. Then the bandits discussed Karen's live show with Giselle saying she lost some brain cells. I thought this was a little too much to say, because wow, I did get on Karen last recap because she did hype up the stuff. The event was still nice, and Giselle, you can't forget that y'all literally had the same type of live show. So if you lost brain cells from that, imagine what some people lost when they were watching yours. But I do agree with Robin when she said there were way too many people involved for it to be like, you know, Karen hosting versus it being all about Karen. Then they discussed Charisse not being invited to Karen's live show. They feel this was deliberate, and Giselle says she excluded Charisse on purpose to be mean. Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, well, Jizzy, you should be the last one saying that, because you do that a lot to people where y'all exclude cast members. So you should be the last one saying that. And on top of that, Charisse is just getting back here. Charisse is not a main cast member. So yeah, she doesn't have to be there if she don't like her. They also discussed Charisse dropping the video in the group message of Karen and Mia dancing, and we learned that Karen didn't like that. They also say that they want to mend the fences between them. And Giselle, when have you ever mended fences between anybody? And you can't demand that either. Robin is back at home with her family. We also see them discuss with their kids that they're planning to do the wedding since they've been engaged for like 2 years. We know this is BS, and this is basically because they're giving themselves 40 days to pull off something with no location, no clothes, trying to get the custom clothes. Even the designer was looking like, how y'all expect me to pull this off so fast? They change the ideas every time they discuss this. And then we see her son basically say, I thought we weren't going to do the wedding. I thought y'all were just going to get married. And he also asks, why aren't his grandparents invited? And we were thinking the same thing, sir. Kids will literally put you on the spot because we're trying to figure out, how is this going to work, Robin? But we're going to play along. Mia is working on some stuff from the chiropractic business, and they're trying to get everything in line when we're talking about the openings, constructions, and everything else under the sun. She also asked G if he registered for some stuff for their son at school, because she won't be here and she wants him to attend. We learned that G has not registered, and he says,
I can attend. I can just wait in the parking lot.
I was looking like, sir, you should be there. There's a reason she's asking you. But he did agree. She also lets Gordon know that
Jacqueline is really upset at me because I wouldn't help her with the girls.
She wanted you to arrange the nanny for her?
Yeah.
Why would she get mad at you about that?
I'm like, holy cow. The girls are your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
we all know, based on the show and what's going on social media, that Jacqueline's sister is Mia's, was Mia's nanny at the time. She normally watches both of the kids while they're like basically filming or so forth. Mia feels like she shouldn't have to say, hey, just drop them here and she can watch them all the time and so forth. And I can understand that, but we will see more on this later on. I'm going to combine these next couple of scenes because it's a lot going on, but it dealt with everybody flying to Mexico. Ashley tells us that this is her first birthday in years without Michael, and she feels like it's different because she is now a single woman. While in the car going to the hotel, Wendy lets us know that she is still recovering from her kidney stone. She can drink, but she has to like top it off with water. So I'm guessing it's more of for every drink like what, 3 bottles of water? Is that how that works? Let me know if that's how that works. I don't know. Normally if they would say, hey, you can, but you gotta, I would have been like, you know what, I'm gonna just play it safe and not do it at all. But the women celebrate and they drink Coronas. And side note, we will see Wendy drink throughout this whole episode. And let me know if I'm the only one that was watching this. She has had multiple drinks in each scene, but I have not seen now water in this woman's hand. Maybe they cut it out, I don't know, but I'm looking like, Wendy, where your water, girl? You gotta flush all that out. When they made it to the hotel, I was like,
And this your appointment.
it was nice. They were greeted at the door with towels. Ashley is also getting the women's welcome gifts together, and everyone is giving stimulators. And I'm gonna just say that just because YouTube has been on me for different little clips and different stuff in my videos, and I'm already going through stuff with microphone issues and had to redo this video. I don't want to have to redo it because of some little clips and stuff, so we gonna play it safe and call it stimulators. And then Ashley and Karen also add a flashlight for Giselle. Robin has a veil saying bride to be. Karen tells her, you know, you can add a small bottle of champagne for Charisse. Not sure what any of the other women receive, but we see everyone else on the other flight, and we learn more about Jacqueline and Mia's disagreement to a certain extent. Candace let us know that they can't be taken anywhere. Robin says she was trying to hear what was going on, but she couldn't make out the words. She just knew it wasn't good. And Giselle lets us know
First class was Mia and Jacqueline screaming about how they mother their children. Jacqueline was like, it takes a village. Mia, you ain't raising your kids right. What? Who you think you talking to?
we know Giselle was gonna get some of the scoop on it. Side note, production. This cartoon playing with the women's images was super funny. It kind of lets us know that y'all tried to say, you know, while I wasn't able to get the footage, but we're gonna make up for it with all of the different images here and just the facial expressions of the women. So it was funny when we see the disagreement and what was going on. But I can't help but think that while this is great, I'm sitting there thinking, where is Ashley when you need her? Because she would have got all that information. We wouldn't even be confused about what happened or what was said. We learned that Mia says Jacqueline feels like she doesn't care about her kids, and it started from Karen's live show when G basically came over and told her that the nanny can't find Jacqueline's kids. Mia said, you know, Jacqueline's right here. Those are her kids. Jacqueline got upset. Jacqueline says that Mia felt she wasn't communicating with her sister effectively, and Mia was being controlling by saying what she did wrong. Mia says her kids aren't her responsibility, and Jacqueline responds with, it takes a village to raise a family, but you wouldn't know anything about that. Something is missing here. There is clearly something else that went on for this to really kickstart everything, but based off what I am given, this is what I am kind of taking from this argument. If the nanny can't find the kids logically, you're gonna call the parents. And that's Jacqueline's sister, so she would have called her. Now, maybe she couldn't reach her, so that's why she reached out to G. Yes, there could have been better communication. Now, I get that some people are gonna say Mia was wrong here, basically telling her how to do things. But like in my review for Real Housewives of Dubai, how you say it determines things, and how somebody takes it lets you know if you should just back up and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it in that way. And because we don't have that footage or information on that, I can't really say who was in the wrong and who was in the right here. But then we see Mia say that Jacqueline kids aren't her responsibility. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. I have to put this out real quick. But here's the thing, I do not have kids. And I say that in any time I'm talking about anything that anybody says on the show that deals with children, because I do not have any. I understood what was being said on both parties. And here's why I say that. They are not her responsibility to a certain extent. For example, some people can go overboard with giving others responsibilities for things that do not belong to them or should have boundaries to that responsibility. I think when the kids are in Mia's care, they're her responsibility. But when they are not with her, that is Jacqueline's responsibility. Hence, this is why you should call her mother. That's what I got from that. Doesn't mean she loves them any less or anything like that. That just means I can only control what are my duties at that time. Nothing more, nothing less. Having boundaries. I will say that maybe we all know how Mia likes to talk to people. Maybe it's the way she said it and how that rolled off her tongue that probably had her like, ma'am, I'm about to get you together. But I will say that Jacqueline's response, based off of how it was given, was a little harsh. Like, why would you say it takes a village? You wouldn't know nothing about that. If somebody told you anything like that or said something that they knew would hit below the belt, we all would be upset. I did see Jacqueline say that she is tired of the way Mia does things. So maybe this was some of the beginning things that went on that built up to this over time. So that's all I can give on that stance when it comes to that. But while they're on their way to the hotel, we see Mia basically not wanting to sit by Jacqueline. Everyone on bus is talking, and we see Candace bring up if anyone has ever looked at their vagina basically. We see Mia joke and say that maybe later that night we can braid each other's hair and we can look at it, and Candace clarifies, well, I'm talking about our own stuff. We all should look at our own stuff. You should know what your woman looks like. You should make sure the health is there. Nothing new. We see Robin joke and basically says, you know, Candace is giving me Mia vibes at this point, and I laugh because if you heard it until she clarified, it does sound like she was on that wavelength a little bit. Then they talk about how it's going to be interesting to see Karen and Charisse interact with each other, and Charisse says that Mia told her that Karen said, I am a dark cloud, and Mia says, you know, when Charisse is around, she's fun, and maybe Karen called her a dark cloud because of the rumors she said about her, so maybe that's why she feels like that, and the others may not feel like she's a dark cloud because they didn't experience that from her. But Mia, in this moment, ma'am, you're just trying to fit in, because I remember in Miami what you said about Charisse. Unless you hung out with her since then, and if you did, production, why we didn't get that. When the women make it to the hotel, they greeted them all happy, cheery with the drinks and everything. We see Karen invite them to the events room where there's cake, drinks, and everything else to celebrate Ashley, and they sing happy birthday with Karen saying,
simple, nothing over the top, because it's important to celebrate the birthday girl right away.
Oh, is that shade, Phaedra?
That's what that was giving me. Everything is going really well until Mia says,
I don't want to sit at that table. I'm not ready to break bread with Satan.
Jacqueline said she was being the red man earlier, with Mia responding that they get in fights every day. Jacqueline feels like this is the worst fight they have ever had, and Mia tells us about the fight they had in high school where Jacqueline basically threw a brick at her. Yeah, I looked at my screen and I was like, there is no way that a friend is gonna throw a brick at me. A disagreement is one thing, but throwing a brick, the friendship is over, and the friendship should have been over a long time ago. And what's crazy is Jacqueline didn't even deny it, so it lets me know that both of you guys are very toxic, and it's a lot of things that's being left out here. Jacqueline says Mia is very controlling, and Karen stirs the pot here by asking, well, you know, how does she act when she doesn't have that control? And I couldn't make out what Jacqueline said, but we see Karen say, oh, so she turns on you. And this is nothing new. We knew that Mia is a bad friend. We know how she acts. We know how she turns on people. We see it every time she steps on the screen. Mia says she keeps it 100%. We know the percentage is off a bit here. It depends on, you know, what it is when it comes to Mia. Yeah, we can't let you get away with that statement. We also see Jacqueline say that Mia just needs some ping because of the built up tension, with Mia replying, you would know. So you want to go there? They go back and forth. They tell each other to back down, and Mia tells her,
close your legs to married men.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why would you say that? Now, Jacqueline, this is very messed up because that means you're falling into the same category. But Mia, how can you throw out a Nene Leakes quote? Ma'am, when that is you, because that is how you got your husband. So you have no right to come at your friend that way. And I can say that Mia also, I have to point this out because I remember this. It's a little off my notes. But Mia has a problem with putting her friend's business out there. She has been doing that since the Miami trip. And girl, a real friend would never do that. She would never, while this was some shocking information, a real friend would never do that. Girl, cut ties with her right now. And we see Jacqueline get up and she says she is done with her. She starts crying. She says, this is messed up. I would never sleep with your husband. Once again, everybody's faces on this screen. Who said that? Nobody said anything about the husband. She said you messed with married men. She didn't say you messed with her husband. So comment down below and let me know if you think she really did that or if she didn't. But Candace tried to tell Mia to take Jacqueline outside. Go talk to your friend, and Mia isn't budging. Jacqueline says that their friendship is in the trash at this point. Karen and Giselle agreed at the table. They, listen, let's table it. Karen asked them to follow her outside for a surprise, and they try to change the mood. There's a shaman there to cleanse. I don't get into all that stuff. I don't believe that works, and clearly we know it doesn't work because people's energies right after this and at that dinner proves that. Candace and Karen let Jacqueline know that, it's gonna be all right. Candace said that, she doesn't have an issue with Jacqueline. She just thinks they didn't get off on the right foot at that time, and she feels bad for her. Then there's the dinner. Everyone makes it to the table. We learned that Giselle is seeing someone from like season 4, whatever. His name was Steve. They discuss the rooms and the gifts, with Robin letting them know that, her veil blew away. And Karen says,
It was like, bye. You ain't getting married. We heard this for 7 years. You tell everybody this goddamn with that fake. I'm like, what the hell? Even the veil knew to get the fuck out the room.
They talked about Giselle getting a flashlight because they wanted Giselle to also get a car, and it was super funny how they looped that shade into there. We learned about Candace doing the IVF again. Then the confusion begins again, and I was trying to figure out, where is this really coming from? I had to watch it like 3 to 4 times. So Giselle tells Charisse that she told Karen that she posted the video in a group message because she wasn't invited to the show. Charisse says that that's not why she did that, and she doesn't care about getting invited or not. She admits that she knew Karen may not have liked that. Karen says her issues is she constantly
begging me to be friends with your ass. I'm just saying.
Listen. So why not send it to her? Ashley and Wendy's face at this time, actually not at this time, in this whole scene, Ashley and Wendy's face is my face every time Karen says something. And I get why Karen said what she said. If you tried to be cool with me, why post that in a group message with everybody, especially if you knew I wouldn't like it? You're trying to get under my skin. Cherie says she's cool with not being friends with her. She would like it better if she would just be a woman, and says she doesn't want to be her friend. And listen, how old are you at this point? Because people will show you in more than one way that they don't mess with you, and it ain't gonna always be verbal. Then Karen lets her know that no one has talked about her in over like 5 years or whatever. Cherie said when she was going through her divorce and lost her father, Karen didn't call. Karen says, I sent you a text message, and that's all I could give you at that moment because everything that was going on with her mom's passing. Cherie said that she drove there to check on her. Giselle hops in and said, this is true. She did go to the funeral. Karen told her to sit back. Karen told her to keep her mama name out of her mouth. Cherie says she didn't mention her mom. Karen says this is not her entry into this group, and it has been 5 years. Karen jumps up and goes off, and they have a whole screaming match between the two. And here's the thing, I was a little confused. I was a little confused here, just like Mia and the Jacqueline thing. Where did Cherie say anything about her mom? That was Giselle. But after rewatching, I see why she say that, because she's basically saying, do not allude to you coming to do something as a reason why X, Y, and Z, as in trying to get on this show. There's other ways you can be on the show. You wasn't checking for me after that happened. It's been 5 years. Don't try to use that as a reason right now. So that is my review. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you really soon, because the Golden Globes is this week, so I will have a fashion review coming, and I will try to have a new microphone because Lord Jesus, I can't sit here and do it like this and holding this mic and trying to make stuff work. But I will see you all next time.